your snacks, hide your show meets, ditch your reliance, and let's dive into this Big Brother drama with Kinda Unhinged. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another Big Brother video. We were on season 28, episode 23. So we begin this episode with the fallout from Kamu's eviction. Haley can't believe that she is still in the house. She's completely surprised. And Lala, on the other hand, is completely devastated. She feels like she's been made a fool of. Everyone knew about the vote except for her. No one told her. She's upset. And Melody and Mallory said that they just didn't have time to tell her. They were able to fill in Taylor right before the vote, but they didn't have time to tell Lala. And of course, they feel bad about it. And this was a supersized episode of Big Brother. So the first half of it was a BB Unlocked episode. And Danielle Reyes from season 3 and Reindeer Games was the guest host this week. And they showed us a few missing moments. The first one that they showed us was this scene with Lala asking Angela how close she was with Dee. And Taylor was like, why are you asking her that? Because once again, Taylor has to be her coach and tell her that this is not what you ask people. And Lala was like, well, I asked her because I wanted her to say it in front of you. And Taylor was like, for what? What was that gonna accomplish? I already know what's going on. At this point, Lala, you are doing nothing but working Taylor's nerves. She's such a liability for her. Matter of fact, we see Yash telling Taylor just that. He was like, you know, at some point we're going to have to vote her out because she's going to get us voted out because she's such a liability. So in the next missing moment, it also stars Lala, and this time she's apologizing to Haley for, getting upset with her about the whole Angela thing. And Haley was like, I mean, I accept your apology, but you were a total mean girl and you bullied me all last week. And Lala was like, what are you talking about? I didn't bully you. And she was like, yeah, you did. You bullied me in front of everybody. Everyone saw it. And once again, this is Haley being delusional. No one bullied you. So the last missing moment was Melody and Mallory trying to campaign to Drew that they should keep Kamu. And obviously that didn't happen. So speaking of Kamu, we got an interview with him, of course, and they showed him the clip of Drew telling Dee that Kamu was coming for her. And they asked him, was he surprised? And he was like, no, I'm not surprised. Because I don't think anyone's surprised that Drew is being a little rat and going here to there. I mean, everyone knows he's doing that at this point. Then they showed the clip of Devins coming up with his master plan to take Dee off the block and put Kamu up as the replacement. And they even show him the formation of the mosh pit and how he actually walked in on it and had no idea. Next up was BB Badass of the Week and BB Dumbass of the Week. And of course, the BB Badass of the Week was none other than Devins. This was truly earned because Devins did that. That was like the best episode. And of course, the BB Dumbass had to be Yash because, I mean, unfortunately, like who else was it gonna be, right? Then we got a clip of Rome and Lyric reuniting. That was great to see that they're still talking outside of the house. Hopefully their relationship goes far. And then Paul from BB 18 and 19 came back and said that he was hosting the HOH competition. And then the second part of the episode begins. And we see Melody and Mallory apologizing to Yash for flipping the vote. And they blame Drew. And of course, he's not shocked by this one bit. And then we see him actually confront Drew about it. And Drew was like, yeah, I mean, I wanted to, but we didn't have the votes. And of course, Yash is not buying this and he thinks that Drew is spineless and just does whatever Devins wants him to do. Then we see Taylor telling Lala that Mallory and Melody told her about the vote right before the vote, so she didn't know it either. And then of course the doorbell rings and it's Paul and he's there to host the HOH competition. And in this competition, they go all the way back to 851 in the time of the Vikings. And in this competition, the players had to run around this training course and hit a series of buttons without falling off of their balance beam and do it the fastest. So Haley was the first up and she set the time to beat at 1 minute. Angela was second and couldn't beat that time, so she was eliminated. Drew was third and he set a new record of 59 seconds. Lala and Taylor were both eliminated because they couldn't beat Drew's time. Dee, on the other hand, set a new time to beat of 50 seconds. All of the other players that went after her couldn't beat this time, so Dee became the new HOH. And she's seeking retribution. And she says that her main target is gonna be Yash, of course. I wouldn't expect anything less. He just put her on the block. Then we see this scene with Taylor, and she says she's about to start playing dirty and she's gonna blow up the whole house. And of course I can't wait because I love the drama. Then we see Lala go check in with Dee, and Dee was like, I'm gonna just be honest with you. I heard that you were wanting to put me up, so I'm thinking about putting you on the block. And Lala says, I wasn't targeting you. You want to know who was targeting you? It was Drew. Then we see a scene with Dee and Yash talking, and she asked him who was gunning for her and Angela. And he lied and said Drew and Barrett. And for Dee, this just solidifies what she already felt about Drew. Then she decides that she's going to try to bribe Yash again. She offers him the 5K in exchange for safety for her, Devins, and Angela on Yash's next HOH win. And he asked all three of them if they'll extend the same courtesy to him, even though theirs won't be binding. And they agree to it, and he reluctantly takes the bribe. And now Dee is starting to think that maybe she wants to put up Drew, so she decides to have a meeting with the mosh pit. And she brings up that night in Lala's room, and she was like, what really happened up there? And she was like, maybe I should get Yash in here and we can just talk about it. And Drew's like, yeah, okay, you can get Yash. And Drew's starting to feel nervous because he's like, what's this about? So they get Yash in there, and he says that Kamu and Drew basically said that they didn't trust Dee. So Dee looks at Drew and says, so were you okay with me going home? And he was like, no. And Yash was like, that's not true. And of course, Drew doesn't know how to talk himself out of this, and he's feeling super nervous. Then we find out that he was chosen to be the next player to go into the BB time capsule, and he wins a power. He wins the never not pass. So that means that he can never be a have not for the rest of the summer. So he decides that he's gonna use this power in his favor to try to gain some trust back with Dee. So he goes and talks to her, and he tells her that he won the power. And he says, see, America knows that we're working on the same side. They know that I'm trustworthy. And Dee was like, yeah, I don't really care about that right now. I want to know what happened in that room. And I want to know why you're being so sus. And he was like, I'm not. She was like, well, you've been playing both sides. He said, yeah, but I've been doing that trying to gain intel for the crossovers. And at this point, the other side doesn't even trust me. And then it was time for the nomination ceremony. And Dee nominated Lala, Drew, and Taylor. And she basically said she nominated the people that she heard were targeting her. And Taylor was like, I never said to put you up. Who said that? Was it you, Drew? And he said yes. And she was like, when? He was like, when you were up there, you were coming out of the shower. So then how did I say it if I was in the shower? And then we can see that they're about to go back and forth. But that's where this episode ended, on this cliffhanger. And I cannot wait till Wednesday to see the rest of this argument, because this is going to be good. But you guys let me know what y'all thought about this episode in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you want more Big Brother content, then go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.
Flurries, you better grab a life vest, Kristen.